Greetings of peace. My name is Ra Imhotep, broadcasting on behalf of 13signsastrology.com. As always, that is the number 13, signs plural, astrology.com. The reason for this video is because I want to go ahead and going to keep it real with y'all. Y'all really want to know who the real Illuminati is. See, I hear a lot of people out here talking about the real Illuminati, but there's few people, very few people, that are going to tell you exactly what this unseen force is. Now, as I talked about in other videos, and I did an article on it, there are three Illuminatis. There are three Illuminatis. And in this video, I'm going to deal with the Illuminati that everybody's familiar with. The Illuminati that most of your bloggers and your writers and your new age activists are talking about. The Illuminati that's behind the MK Ultra, the mind control, the things of that nature. I'm going to go into that Illuminati because it's that Illuminati that is out to try to, not to try because they're already doing it, but it's that so-called Illuminati that is out to keep control of this planet. But the thing is that this force is much more than a physical force. It's a very occult force. And what I mean by it's much more than a physical force is that even though their goal is to control the human population and to control you physically, it's much greater than them trying to control you physically, because they're doing this from a realm that you cannot see. They're doing this from a realm that you cannot see. It's called the fourth dimension. They're doing this from the fourth dimension. And what they do is that they use a group of human entities that are in this dimension, and they tap into and trap these entities through various mind control tactics like MK Ultra. If you haven't heard of MK Ultra, you need to look it up. See, MK Ultra is much deeper than just a CIA mind control program. See, MK Ultra is actually a science that the CIA, the so-called CIA, which they really got it from a group of extraterrestrial beings. They got this science from a group of extraterrestrial beings who went around to different cultures, studied the different forms of yoga, studied different forms of voodoo, and different forms of occult sciences. And what they did was that they came up with a science to whereas they could split the mind into a group, or split the mind into basically multiple personalities, what they call alters. And this is what they do. See, they trap and possess entities through splitting their mind into alters. And this is why in the entertainment industry and things of that nature, so you have many artists out there that have multiple personalities. See, the person that you're seeing when the camera is off and when they're off of the videos is not the same person that you're seeing when you're watching them on the video, because they know how to use the occult through various forms of mind control, which is what most of you know as MK Ultra, but really it's an occult science that, like I said, that deals with various schools of occult, such as the voodoo and things of that nature. But they use these occult sciences to trap the mind so that they can in turn possess entities and possess human beings. I'm sorry. So it's a group of reptilians. See, that's what the Illuminati really is a group of reptilians that keep control of the planet for most of you on the planet, because most of you live in fear, and they use fear to keep control of this planet. They use sex to keep control of this planet. They use lower vibrational wavelengths and vibes to keep control of this planet, all through the lower chakras. Sex, food, those are their main tools of control. Fear, those are their main tools of control. And now when you look at the music industry, many of you are very familiar with the doctrine and school of blood sacrifice, and I've covered this in other videos. But have you really asked yourself, because like those of you know that the research and everything is actually out there to prove that blood sacrifice is true, but have you ever asked yourself, who are they sacrificing these individuals to? Who are they sacrificing these individuals to? Have you ever asked yourself that? And that's what I want to cover, because they're not just sacrificing these individuals to just the air. See, I could have covered this in other videos, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it real with you. They're not just sacrificing these individuals to the air. They're sacrificing these individuals to a group of extraterrestrial reptilians. They're sacrificing these individuals to a group of extraterrestrial reptilians that eat humans. You see, many of you don't know the history of beings that were on this planet, that came to this planet prior to human beings. And the reason why you don't know of this history is because you have been taught a 6,000-year-old history that was concocted by a group of extraterrestrial beings that was designed to trap you into a certain paradigm or a certain reality, whereas you don't accept the fact that there are extraterrestrial beings that control your reality and manipulate your reality right now. And their main tool of control, and their form of control, is they use technology to control you. See, many of you don't know that. So these entertainers, and I'm not going to name any names because the research is out there, but when you research these entertainers and you hear about the blood sacrifice and things of that nature, you need to ask yourself, who are they sacrificing these individuals to? What God are they sacrificing these individuals to? See, these reptilians come in and they pose as God. See, this is the real Illuminati. It's a group of unseen extraterrestrial beings on the fourth dimension that possess human beings here on this dimension through various forms of MK Ultra and mind control and certain occult tactics. And that's how they're possessing these individuals, and that's why they're using the music industry in particular to keep the control grid going. See, it's about building up a control grid that's based on fear. So when the artists are doing sacrifices, they're sacrificing their families to a group of extraterrestrial beings that eat flesh and that feed off of human beings. And you can't see them because they can move in and out of the third dimension and the fourth dimension undetected. And many of you don't know about this, but it's in the Bible. See, it's in the Bible, but you're reading the Bible from a religious standpoint. But I'm going to tell you exactly an excerpt of where it is in the Bible. Adam and Eve, when they were in the Garden of Eden. See, many of you believe that the snake in the Garden of Eden is talking about some metaphor that's basically talking about some devil or whatever that basically got them to eat this forbidden fruit. See, what you don't know is that the snake was really talking about a reptilian extraterrestrial being that moved into the Garden of Eden. It was a physical being because, as you remember, if you remember right, the snake was talking to Eve. The snake was walking around. This was a physical extraterrestrial being that was basically depicted as a snake because these reptilians operate off of what's called the reptilian part of the brain. See, it's a part of your brain called the reptilian aspect of the brain. And that came from the fact that when human beings were genetically modified, they used a reptilian, or what we would call a homosaurus. See, what they don't tell you is that there were dinosaurs that were shaped like humans. See, there weren't just big dinosaurs like your Tyrannosaurus Rex and things of that nature, but you had a dinosaur that was basically like a human. That was a humanoid. It was a dinosaur, but it was a humanoid, and that's what you would call a reptilian. And that's basically what this being was that came to Eve and got her to eat of the forbidden fruit. See, if you go into the Hebrew, it really wasn't a forbidden fruit that Eve ate. It wasn't an apple. See, that's what they teach the Christians, but really, you want to know what the forbidden fruit was? It's the same thing that they promote in the music industry through these songs, drugs. See, the forbidden fruit was the poppy seed. The forbidden fruit was the poppy seed. If you go into the Hebrew of the forbidden fruit, I forgot the name of the term, and I'll get back with you guys and let you know the exact Hebrew term or whatever. But if you research this Hebrew term for the forbidden fruit, go ahead and research it. When you do your research, you're going to find out that it was actually originally talking about the poppy seed. That's what the forbidden fruit was. If you go into the Hebrew, see, that's what I'm saying. See, many of you, the Christians and different Hebrews of modern day, changed it to the apple. But it's really talking about the forbidden fruit of the poppy seed, because the poppy seed is where they got most of your drugs from. Like, most of your drugs derived from the poppy seed, which is a very old drug that was used to intoxicate individuals. So I know I'm talking about a lot of information here, but I'm trying to get you to see that the whole drug conspiracy, the whole fear conspiracy, the whole mind control conspiracy, the whole sex conspiracy goes back to a group of extraterrestrial beings. And they're using these various conspiracies to trap and enslave your mind and to keep you in fear. And they're using the forms and tactics of blood sacrifice because they eat humans. See, the way you humans sacrifice animals and you guys eat animals. See, I don't eat meat. I don't eat animals. They sacrifice humans the same way, and they eat them. This is a group of extraterrestrial beings. And if you think I'm making this stuff up, you can research the Dogons. You can research your Mayans. You can research various tribes and cultures that knew about these group of extraterrestrial beings. Like I said, they're even in your Bible, but you just don't know what you're reading about. These reptilians have been on this planet long before humans have even came into existence. So they're able to trick humans through, like I said, fear. Now I know what I'm talking about. See, I was in the music industry. And that's how this group of reptilians started to track and follow me around. See, I have a group of reptilians that follow me around and track me around everywhere I go. Right now, everywhere I go, I have a group of reptilians that don't want to see me give you this information. But the thing is that I don't vibrate off of fear. See, I vibrate on a higher level. So I'm not worried about them. And I know how to do rituals, and I know how to set up certain grids to basically keep these reptilians away from me. But when I was in the music industry, or striving to get in the music industry as far as getting a record deal at that time, that's when they found out about me. Because the type of music that I was making, see, I wasn't making lower vibrational music. They came at me. And that's why I decided to get out of the music industry and got into providing information for people, and that's where I'm at today. See, I was in the music industry, in the film industry. I've been to Hollywood. The reptilians came out. They actually even recently came out and tried to stop me recently. I'm talking about very recently. Tried to stop me from bringing you this information, and they want to still stop me from bringing you this information, but it's not going to stop because this is a divine movement. You see, because I'm not dealing on the fear paradigm and the mind control paradigm that they want to try to put me up under and they're still keeping the masses up under this fear and mind control paradigm that they're using with technology, like I said, sex, food, and different lower vibrational entities that they possess you with so that they can come in through you. And then they want to basically see their goal is to basically control the masses of humanity through these various tactics and forms of control. See, the reptilians are all about control. But see, I did a lot of meditations, and I already seen that the reptilians aren't going to be successful in winning this battle against the conscious people and those that are light workers and light beings who are providing the light, trying to free people from this prison planet of enslavement. You see, they're not going to be successful. But the thing is that many people are going to go down with them because they deal in fear. They're scared. They're scared to tap into their own individuality and independence. They're scared to take back their own mind, and they choose to allow others to control and manipulate their mind. And they're all of your schools of thought. They're in your religions. They're on the news. They're in your churches, like I was saying. I mean, they're all over there in the music industry. They're in the film industry. They're in the corporate America. They're in the banking industry. It's a group of extraterrestrial beings that operate off of fear and control. You see, they don't want people to hear this information, but I'm bringing this information to you. So that's who the real Illuminati is. It's a group of extraterrestrial beings, like I said, from the fourth dimension. And before you just sit up here and try to dismiss me as a nut, which I really don't care if you do, because like I said, I see these beings every single day. They follow me around. They take on the forms of human beings, though. See, that's the thing. They look like human beings, but they're really devils, reptilians. See, that's what the real devil is. It's a reptilian. You know what I'm saying? So before you try to write me off as some form of a crazy person, which I don't really care because I'm putting out this information either way. I mean, it's not going to stop. And I mean, even to you reptilians right now that's listening to this, it's not going to stop. But before you, I'm talking about those that aren't still up under the control, that still are really questioning things. Before you choose to write me off as some form of a crazy person, you need to do your research. You need to find out why they're doing these blood sacrifices. You need to find out why they're using the music industry to manipulate people. You need to find out why they keep pushing this fear paradigm. Because this is a group of beings that do not want to see you free. They want to keep this planet as a prison planet. They don't want to see humans have to take back their own energy. They scare you with various forms of saying that they're going to murder 2/3 of the population. They're trying to scare you. And you can't let them do it because you have to deal in love. See, it's only two emotions, but actually one emotion is really love, and fear is the opposite of love. So you have to deal with love. And when I say love, though, see, love, I'm not talking about some milquetoast patsy love. I'm talking about the divine love, which is a power force that you can use to overcome anything. Because you have to know that there is no death for you. This is just an incarnation. There is no such thing as death. This is just an incarnation. That's all it is. And basically, this is a form of a experience that you decided to come into, and the reptilians want to scare you and control your mind because they don't want you to create with your mind, and to know that you have to know this, and to know that you're going to overcome and beat them at their own game. But the thing is that you can't deal with the fear paradigm shift. You can't let your energy get down to the lower chakra levels. You have to keep dealing on higher vibrations of love. You have to stay on the higher vibrations of divine love, not the control paradigm of love that the reptilians are pushing, because they're pushing that paradigm as well. So putting this information out just to let you know that definitely I know what I'm talking about. I'm the real deal. I experience this stuff every day with these group of beings that keep following me around. They're trying to get me to stop putting out this information. I'm not going to stop putting out this information. They want me to stop, and they're trying to use various forms of scare tactics to get me to stop putting out this information, but it ain't going to stop. It's going to keep going. So just to let you know, like I said, those in the music industry, that you hear about them doing these blood sacrifices, you need to ask yourself who they doing them for. They're doing them for a group of reptilians that eat humans, and these people drink blood, and they have an underground civilization that's located underground in this earth, and that's where and that's where it goes down at. So your internet and your computers and all that stuff is linked to a supercomputer that's located in the earth. You see, it's a supercomputer that's located in the earth, and they can monitor you and watch you and spy on you from this supercomputer, because reptilians use technology to scare people and to monitor people. But the thing is that they're not hit to the higher technology that I have, which is the technology of telepathy and the higher forces. You see, there's higher forces of clairvoyance, of psychometry. It's called your intuition, telepathic forces that you can communicate with people and other beings from those forces. See, there's over 250,000 extraterrestrial beings that you don't know nothing of, because you're trapped in the third dimension. But you see, I can communicate on the fourth dimension because I've learned various occult sciences, and I know how to do this. So before you go ahead and write somebody off as a crazy person, you need to do your research and find out exactly who this real devil is, because that's the real devil. You need to find out who this real devil is. It's a reptilian. It's a reptilian, and they want your mind.